This is Blue Hunter, a brand new roguelike deck building card game that's set to come out on Steam on the 28th of November 2024, hopefully about the same time that this video comes out. We are going to be taking a quick look at it, seeing if we like what we see, but before we do that, a quick disclosure point. I did receive a free review code for the game. It's not a paid promotion or anything, but just something to keep in mind. So let's see what Blue Hunter has in store for us, but in order to do that properly, I think we should start from the beginning. So we are about to start our nominally first run on this build of Blue Hunter. I did play a couple of runs on earlier builds of the game. We can go into the patch notes here, and you can see that a lot of changes have been happening. I'm not sure at exactly which point I've played, but it was called a tech demo back at this point. This is probably like a patch or two prior to what will be the launch of early access on the 28th. So still probably subject to change. Even if you buy on day one, it is probably going to look slightly different, but I think it is way more complete than the first builds of the game that I've tried. Let's click play here, and yeah, I am immediately seeing differences. So from what I can recall from the promotional materials for the game, those two classes offer pretty stark differences in terms of playstyle, in that all the cards that we will see during our runs will be two non-overlapping sets. You know, the same card choices will offer us 3 or however many different cards, depending on which class we choose here. So it's not just a difference in what passive we will be initially getting, a difference of, you know, stat spreads, but also a difference of what sort of cards we will be working with. Back when I played last time, only the Assassin was available, and I think this is the intended beginner experience, so I will choose the Assassin here. Let's input our name. No need to choose a seed, and I don't think we can choose, coming soon, so we can't yet choose a hard or difficulty mode. Let's start. So the theme, the narrative of the game is that we will be climbing downwards further into hell, defeating enemies throughout our journey, culminating in defeating the bosses, the gods of each kind of floor, circle of hell level. Okay. Immediately, I would like to point out a couple of things about this UI. First of all, like, the use of those light colors, and also, well, white, which is the brightest color here, against a dark background, it reminds me of something, but I forget exactly of what. However, it is very readable, which I think is a point in favor of any card game, since most of our time will be spent reading through text, going through menus, so readability is definitely a big concern here, and this seems very readable to me. And the first thing we are seeing here is the stat screen, and this is kind of a novel inclusion into the game, in that we will be able, after most battles, or pretty much all battles I think, we will be able to manually adjust, add stats to one of 5 attributes here. And each of those attributes will give us passive benefits, and certain breakpoints here, like this one for example, when we have 5 points into strength, will be giving us an additional passive. So this creates an opportunity to make more choices that are not RNG driven. And being RNG prone is a big factor in most deck builder, roguelike CCGs, TCGs, whatever. So being able to alleviate some of that is definitely an interesting choice here. If we want to have a crit build, even if we don't see crit cards necessarily, we will be getting crit passives. We will be getting additional crit as well, additional crit chance. So seeing as our initial stat spread here already puts us somewhat into crit, let's put another point in crit, increasing our crit chance to 12% it should be, and putting us reasonably close to the first crit passive here. So, we are being Shadow Veil floor -1. I like that we start on floor -1, and I believe, yeah, the floors will be descending as we go further, because we are going downwards. And it presents no significant difference than if those numbers were going up, but I find that this is like a thematic consideration made by the dev that makes me go, uh-huh, okay. Anyway, we are being offered our first battle here, and this is the screen that we will be spending most of our time with. Most of our time will be spent using the cards that we draft. Okay, this is very, very snappy. It's easy to make selections. I am using those cards by dragging them towards the enemy here. And, you know, the hitboxes on both the card and the enemy seem to be snapping alright. So, we are being offered a pretty basic selection of cards at first, slightly reminiscent of Slay the Spire. We have a number of cards that just deal damage, a number of cards that provide us with shield, which allows us to absorb some damage without losing our HP, and I believe about 2 cards that have slightly different effects. So like this one, which gives us a bit more shield, but causes us to discard one of the cards in our hand. And there is also the card that I used on turn 1, this one over here. Deals a bit less damage than some of the other ones, but does cause the enemy to lose 25% of their damage per turn. So you can see this number changing right here. The enemy has gone from dealing us 10 to dealing us 7. So we are unlikely to be able to defeat the enemy this turn. Let's just block and we can go next turn. Okay, so this one, oh, he heals for 5 at the end of each turn, and he has weakness, which we have inflicted ourselves, so I should be aware of that. Right, so we will not be able to defeat him this turn, but with a good draw, he should heal to 11. And we have 13, that's perfect. So we have defeated our first enemy here. Gotten a bit of gold. Oh, and we have completed a side quest. And this is another thing that I really, really like. In that, in every battle we will get, it was present somewhere over here, we are given an additional objective. Like, you know, defeat the enemy without losing any HP, or defeat the enemy in a set number of turns. And it gives you kind of another consideration. So even if you are able to handily dispatch with the enemy, you might need to make certain potentially suboptimal decisions in order to also accomplish the subquest. Okay, and this is the core mechanic of the game. We are being offered a chance to raise the enemy as sort of an undead under our control. That's the narrative part. But in terms of game mechanics, we are being offered that choice of card for our deck. And this enemy allows us to make our next attack have a 100% critical chance. I think I might be interested in building into crit, but for 1 energy or mana or whatever the resource here is called, I don't think this appeals to me that much, so I would prefer 10 gold here. And we are being given another stat point. And adding it to crit again should give us our first passive here. Well, technically second, since we started with Tactician's Edge over here. That causes us to draw 1 extra card on our first turn. And this should look a bit familiar if you've played like Slay the Spire or anything that came after. We are given a choice of 3 nodes here. I don't think we are able... No, I don't think we are able to see upcoming nodes, but we can choose 1 out of 3. So if we wanted to spend our gold, we could go to the shop. Unknown could be any of these over here. It could be a treasure chest, probably not a god, hopefully. But yeah, it could be another shop. It could be a treasure chest. Let's see, I'm always a sucker for these. Oh, turns out it's a battle. Oh, and you can see the subquest here. We will unlock a random skill. I believe skills are these ones over here. So we will unlock an additional passive benefit if we win the battle in 5 turns or less. So I might be persuaded to take a bit of damage if necessary, in order to ensure that this happens. Oh, he's blocking, that's not ideal, but I think we should be able to defeat him within 5 turns. We block again. Should be able to block all this damage. Yeah, so I think by just playing our cards here, we were able to accomplish the subquest. We didn't really lose any HP, so we will unlock a random skill as a result. And our random skill here is, when you enter the shop, heal by 30. That's decent, I think. Not super exciting, but decent. Deals 0 damage where damage equals the number of critical attacks made in this battle. I think this is prone to get better as we get more crits. I think we will add that to our deck. So we have our first kind of non-standard card, non-starter card added, the Ghost Wolf that we just defeated. And I like this idea. I like the idea that the enemies that you defeat have the chance of becoming part of your deck. I think that's interesting. Are we going all in on crit? I think I would like to try and see how far we can get with kind of a good stuff, a bit of everything build. Just because I find many roguelike card games struggle with balancing non-vertical kind of builds. Builds that don't go all in on one thing, that don't try to get, geometric increases to damage, that don't try to get infinite combos, just fair, playing the right cards in the right order kind of thing. So let's maybe put a couple towards strength. Every 3 points of strength should increase the damage on our cards by 1, and I think having 5 points on it, is going to make us scale over time, which is something we might need for the bosses. Okay, treasure chest. Let's get a random skill. Gain 5 levels, then exhaust. Okay, this is excellent. This is going to allow us to, after the next battle, to increase our strength considerably. Oh, and we do see our new card here. It is dealing 1 damage at the time, which is not ideal, but it is a finisher more than anything, so drawing it on turn 1 of any battle, not ideal. And I think we've seen this enemy already, right? This is the one that heals via sleeping. They heal for 5 when they have this buff. Yep, heals for 5. Let's weaken him. Deal 2 damage. Okay, we yet again have gotten the subquest to win the battle in 5 turns or less. Ah, nearly there. He shouldn't be able to heal if we draw any damage. 8 exactly. Perfect. Didn't even need a crit. A random skill. What did we get? All shop products are now discounted by 40%, and we do have a bit of gold, so I think we would be very much interested. Can we get to 10 here? 9. 9 is going to be close. Oh no, it is actually 10. Yeah, we have 7 here plus 3 from our start. So we did just get 2 extra passives from that. We got, at the start of each turn, gain 1 rage, which causes us to deal more damage with each turn. And we also have gain 2 rage at the start of each battle, so it's kind of an upfront bonus to our damage. That is excellent. Oh, but now it's time for... I don't think this is the god boss, I don't think this is the floor change, but it is... Oh, but we deal so much damage now. This is going to be crazy. Win the battle by using only attack cards. Yeah, we just win. We crit, so we just win. This was a huge power spike for us, that last sequence of bonuses. Heal by 10 doesn't do anything, and we get our choice of 1 out of 3 skills. I'm still making up my mind about whether this reliance on each time you beat an enemy draw 1 cards, at the start of each turn gain 2 shield. Unknown rooms are now treasure chest rooms. I think I like this one. And Spider Cloak, if we raise it up, it is worth 50 gold though. it allows us to... Oh, this is for like a turbo build, where it deals damage equal to the number of cards we've played in the entire battle. So for like a build that goes on for long, you can just build towards like a huge one-shot in the end. But it's 3 energy though. No, I think 50 gold and we are aiming to see a shop somewhere. Do we want to build towards crit? I never build defense in any of these games unless I know that it's the right choice. Maybe let's try evasion, that's interesting. It's like, it's an RNG chance to dodge an attack. We are seeing, what, 17% to dodge. I think that's decent. And let's head into the shop here, since we have... Oh, wow, we have so much money. Mostly because everything is discounted by 40%. That's an excellent passive to have at this point. This turn, your next card costs 0 mana, so we can buy one of these cards from enemies that I don't think we've seen thus far. Poison... Interesting. I don't think I want to go for... There's a lot of poison offered, though. Everything that's offered, nearly everything is poison. 5 out of 6 here are poison-related cards. My god. I really don't want to go towards poison for my first build, though. I find like this is a build that... well, I'm assuming a lot, but based on my experience with other games, going towards a keyword-related build really puts you in like a narrowed-down decision space kind of place. In that you end up choosing only cards that mention that keyword. You know, you will end up choosing the best poison card every time you see them, and that means that you are not choosing, you know, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 3, 1 out of however many cards. You are just choosing out of the ones you were offered that mentioned poison, which one is the best. So I'm not too keen on that. Okay, this is already at max level. I think... Okay, this is an excellent idea. If we upgrade Skinny Bird, it's going to apply 2 weakness, which I assume is going to give the enemy a debuff for 2 turns every time we play it. So if we keep cycling through Skinny Birds, we can keep the enemy debuffed for, you know, the remainder of the match, pretty much. Let's get another random skill. Every 3 critical attacks, draw 1 card. So I think this puts us on pace for a crit build. Let's get another passive. More healing is not necessarily a good thing here, since we are full HP. Okay, and this is our first combat with 2 enemies. The sub-quest we got is not too appealing for me. No crit. Unfortunate. Not too appealing for me, since we are full HP, we have additional sources of healing, so I think we will stick to just playing whatever is best. No crit again. We are going to end up being hit for... 5 is not that much. We have multiple sources of healing. Okay, so I think we are kind of ahead of the pace of the game as of now. What have we here? 0 energy gain for shield, or deal 6 damage, draw 1 card. This could be interesting. I think I could do something with this. So we will be adding the Forest Shaman to our deck here. Another point of evasion or another point of crit. Let's go some more towards crit. We have a crit passive now. Oh, and this is floor -10, so it's time for the first boss. The boss of the first chapter. And this is where the game ended for me back when it was a tech demo. I wonder how much further we can go now. Let's start with weakening the guy. Okay, so he has 2 stacks here, so I think he should be weakened for 2 turns. That is my understanding of the effect. Let's start with card draw, I think 15. Do we want to defend or do we want... I think we have inevitability, right? Since we are gaining rage, we are gaining damage with every turn. So I think as long as we can persevere here, We should get the upper hand, so let's go towards not losing HP that much. Okay, now we can go ham, since he is not attacking, he will be, I think this means, yeah, he will apply a status effect, so this is going to either be a debuff for us, or a buff for them. Oh, he also got rage. Right. Oh, and he has shield. This is not great for us, we are drawing Skinny Bird, although it is 2 turns of weakness now, so that's better. Okay, we are halfway through the boss. He is ramping up. Which, again, I am not super keen on. We might have to go kind of base race here. Just see if we can out DPS. Since the boss here is attacking every other turn, so I think we might be able to outpace. But it's not as, you know, as easy a battle as some of the previous ones. Although, I mean, I am being a bit dramatic, we lost like 5 HP. Okay, first floor done. Each time you beat an enemy, draw 1 card. We don't want more heal. I think we are healing to full more often than not, so I am picking card draw. Golden release. Oh, this is cool. This is cool, since we probably will be, as time goes by, as we have a fuller deck, we will be, you know, picking gold over additional cards, and this increases the by 3. Oh, multiply. Okay, we will be getting 30 instead of 10, for example. Okay, we can get 600 for this guy. Deal 15 damage, always critical. Okay. That's a good card. Is it 600 gold good, though? Okay, let's play with the cards. It's a card game. We need to be picking up some cards at least. Do we want to put a couple of points towards intelligence? The first passive here, each time you beat an enemy, gain 1 mana. Every 5 cards played, gain 1 mana. Okay, so this is for like the turbo deck enthusiasts. Let's try to get an additional mana point, since the card we just added costs 2. I think it's a good idea. That's sick. Oh, but... Oh, we are missing 1 damage here. Was hoping for a crit, but... You know, we are at about 20% crit, so I think that was a bit of an ask. Yeah, let's... Oh, we would have gotten 10 gold, but 10 gold is not that much at this point, so I'm not mad that I didn't read before making my decisions here. Critting for 36 is very decent, and it builds towards our Spectral Wolf card as well. So we can't get 30 gold if we... Ghost Wolf, it's called. Yeah, I think I value 30 gold more highly at this point. Let's go for Unknown. Oh, when you enter the shop, gain a level. This is excellent. We wanted that for sure. So this gives us a level, gives us an opportunity to, after every boss battle victory, gain an extra level. Unlock 2 skills instead of 1. Oh, this insta levels up bosses or monsters that we add to our deck. All those are good. Pretty much, apart from maybe the poison one, since I am foregoing poison in this build. Let's go for this one. Gain an extra level after each boss battle. Another treasure chest. Oh, this is a numbo with the other one we have, right? Since it overwrites, I think? Okay, same mini-boss as the first floor. This is a 1-turn win for us. So, subquest done, extra 10 damage, and we are getting additional level ups here. Gain 400 gold instantly is very decent. Unlock a random stat skill, we would like that. What did we get? Start of each battle, apply 1 invincible. That's excellent. We don't really have anything defensive, so I think that's very decent. Oh, and we have a lot of level up points here. So wait, we are at 3, 4, 5, 6. This is an additional mana point for us and the first passive here. The rest, I think, towards crit. Okay, 24% crit chance, and we have an additional mana point now. This looks excellent. Okay, extra level. Oh, come on. Can't I have 2? Bro. Let's level up a guy. Let's level up the War God, maybe. Level up ourselves. What else can I get? This is decent. I wonder if we can have more skills than spaces here, since we are like very slowly running out of space. So maybe let's not pick up another treasure chest. Let's try to get some more better cards added. Which one has the lowest HP? Let's try to eliminate this guy here. Oh, we have 4 mana now. Well, let's tank the hit. Oh, we will not tank the hit. We are either dodging or we are getting our invincible stack. No crit, unfortunate, and we might have to block now. Hopefully block 1, dodge the other. Excellent, excellent stuff. Everything is proceeding according to plan. We don't kill on crit, so let's minimize the damage. This kind of roguish looking guy is going to deal us. No crit is unfortunate. We might need to put more points towards crit. But like, the War God, I think it might have been worth the 600 gold that we put towards it. Deal 4 damage, always critical. Versus deal 6 damage, if critical, deal 6 damage again. I think this is very good. Let's add the Ice Crab here. And yep, 5 more points towards crit. Now we will be applying poison after each critical attack. So it seems I was going to get poison whether I want it or not. Is this going to draw us 2? Yep. Drawing us 2 cards. Much better. I like that some of those upgrades are substantial. They are number changes, but they change numbers that matter. Let's try the Ice Crab. Yo. Okay, Ice Crab slaps. If we crit on it at least. No crit on that. We might end up getting a bit of damage here. But again, we have so many sources of healing. I don't think it really matters. Come on. Oh, they have... reading the card and whatnot. Okay, they lost the invincibility effect. It's like, why are none of my effects hitting? But, yep, turns out there is good reason for that. So we just added a free guy featuring Ryan Reynolds. The Fallen Rogue Plus. So this one is just a free damage card. We can add another 5 stat points here. Yeah, I think I'm going all in on crit at this point. Oh, and they will now deal double damage instead of 150%. Okay, let's see if we can beat the second boss here. And I think that's going to be where we end this run, for the time being at least. Okay, we have dealt an impressive amount of damage. Turn 1. Okay, that was a crit. Let's go War God. Do we want to defend? I think we want to defend a bit. Okay, the guy hits like a truck. But if they only attack every second turn, if we dodge at least one, I think we're good. 23... I mean, we have the energy to play all of our cards here. No dodge. So this is going to go kind of down to the wire here. If this is a crit, yep, we win. Okay, excellent. We have beaten floor 2. I believe the current maximum is floor 3. So when you beat the third boss, the one after this one, the game ends. But I think that's about as much time as we had for today. But as we kind of bask in the afterglow of having defeated the second boss, I did have the chance to reach out to the developer of the game. It's a solo dev, by the way, which is very commendable that they were able to come up with a game with this level of polish on their own. I did ask them a question that I think is near and dear to most of our hearts, in that roguelike deck builders and card games in general, digital card games, are already a pretty saturated market. There's so many of them, some of them better, some of them worse. So I wanted to know what, in their opinion, differentiated Blue Hunter from some of the other ones. What was its, or what is its unique selling proposition? And they were kind enough to provide me with an answer, which was Blue Hunter sets itself apart with unique mechanics like monster resurrection, its dual class system, featuring the assassin and warrior, adding strategic depth. Additionally, each run offers stat customization, enabling players to tailor their power and unlock passive skills for that playthrough, providing flexibility and replayability without relying on meta progression. Which I think I'm inclined to agree. Like, those are certain facets of the game design that I was also made aware of while playing the game. I like the inclusion of stats. I think that, I wasn't able to try out both classes, but I'm assuming that they offer some sort of variety in terms of what cards get offered. So I think I'm inclined to agree that those are the elements that set Blue Hunter apart from some of its competitors. Anyway, I've been Simon from Games Deconstructed. Thanks for joining me on this one. If you're interested in me taking a look at your card game project, feel free to contact me using the email on screen right now. Otherwise, I would be much obliged if you clicked the subscribe button and maybe watched my next video. Thanks a lot, bye.